It worked. It worked. I will new light. I'm going to turn this off. I think this. I did not touch it. I did not touch that. I didn't touch it. Oh, I touched the screen back there. I bet. Crap. Why is this so sensitive? So moody. Sweet Fly, how are you doing? I was thinking about you. I'm going to get rid of this. Hang on. There's a reason for this. If I remember, I'll tell you guys. What the hell? Where's the button at? Got that button out of the way. Sweet Fly, I was thinking about you today, and I was like, as soon as hey, can you guys hear me? By the way, sorry, I just realized that. I don't know if no, there's no volume. Is there volume? Oh yeah, there is volume. Oh my gosh, wait a second. Is everything working? This can't be happening. Sweet Fly, so I was thinking about you today, and I was like, nobody's. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, I'm getting ready to lose volume. Does that have anything? No. Why? Why? Why is that not? It doesn't want to cooperate with me. Anyway, Sweet Fly, I was thinking about you today, and I was like, I haven't gotten an update recently, and I wanted, that's how I was going to start the show. I was going to be like, how is Sweet Fly? Has anyone heard from her? I'm so glad you're here. So glad you're here. That was a little strong. If you wash down Pixie Stick with water, you make Kool-Aid in your tummy. AJ, how you doing? How are you doing, AJ? Buzzer Jam, what's going on? Side Eyes Jess, what's happening? Heather May, how are you? Susie Q, what's going on? Susie Q. Shane Train. Did I say Shane Train? Why do I feel like I just did? Maybe I just read it. I don't remember now. The Fairy Shenanigans, how are you doing? Lori Wallace, what is up? Look at that dog. You know, how do you get a bulldog when they're happy out of tall grass? What? You're going home tonight. Holy cow! I saw it was the wrong one. I thought it was Lori Wallace. I was like, where are you going? Yeah, you're going home tonight. Oh, it's like it's late. You ought to tell him to make you breakfast in the morning. That's what you ought to tell him. Lulu, how you doing? Did it bother you yet that I call you Lulu? Doesn't she look like Lulu, Fifth Element? Multipass. Bada boom. Big bada boom. That's all I remember. Oh my gosh. What's in no? Am I still muted? Wait, I hear you. Yeah, we hear you. You can hear you now. Okay, that's back when. So see, I went back and I caught up. Gina, Flocky say, how are you doing? Kimberly Ray, what's going on? Kimberly, are you as cold down there as hey T for two? I hit the wrong button, wrong time. Sorry, Kimberly, are you as cold down there as we are up here? It is. I moved my button over here. I don't have it on. Look at this. It is 28 degrees. 20 degrees. It is 73 degrees in Australia. Good. I'm glad. 2 for 2. Thank you so much. You know what that means? That means everybody's got to start feeling good. Yeah, shake it off. Wiggle, 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 yeah. 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 I got low my lungs. Debbie Joe, how are you doing? Oh my gosh. Butt phone action. What's other? That's my cap. 33 here, 35 at 2. I went for a walk. Oh man, it was like 20. We're gonna say it was 26 when I looked, and it was like felt like 16 outside. I've not gone outside, so that's why everything's rearranged and there's buttons and all this stuff here. And I was working on. Look at this. Look at that. The light got my scissors. I was working on the sound. I don't know why it's messed up. I got rid of the old sound, got the new sound, or no, got rid of the. It's supposed to work, guys. I did not know about Turtleboy having New Jersey problems. I came across today. I'm like, how can I ever catch up? I never will. Hey, Lost Souls, how you doing, babe? What's up? Lost Souls, a good friend of mine over on Lost Souls True Crime and Chat. And after New Year's, I take everybody's French away. She hasn't been back. I figured. So she can't put her own chat in there anymore. Also, what are you doing, you nut? Prince of Wales. I used to be Zach. Stop pressing buttons. I have new buttons now. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. It's horrible. Strains. Case history docket. 2 summary videos. A few pertinent filings in your inbox. Which inbox? Which one? Where? Where am I going? I have so many boxes. Which box am I trying to look at now? Well, that one didn't pop up. My box is empty. What happened? Okay, it is not in X. It is. I do not see it in Discord. So go to email. Danbury Sports Highlights. How you doing, buddy? Was it dismissed? Because I heard there was something else going on next week, I thought. All right, hang on a second here. Let me do this. You guys, I'm having a hard time trying. It's so. What? Binging crimes, not cookies? Oh, no. No, you can't do that. Look. No, binging crimes. This is the Cookie Monster. We love the Cookie Monster. Cookies, C is for cookie. And it's good enough for me. Unless they're like really, I hate crispy cookies. I like Christy cookies. Shit, that's actually a guy's name, Christy. But I always thought it was a girl, but it's not. Anyway. All right, hang on. Should be email. Thank you, Strains. All right, let me sign in here. Oh man, that's another one. I have. Yes, it worked. I have got so much extra security on everything right now. It's awesome. That's what I need to do always. All right, let's see here. All right, so I see 2 YouTube links in here. Hey, there she is. How you doing, J7? I heard she had the flu, and I was like, well, as long as she is on this side of the grass. That's the main thing, because I thought she was gone. There are 2 New Jersey cases. One is a woman who used her name and logo and never donated the money. I don't know who these people are. So anyway, we're getting I have more stuff. I have so many more things. Yeah, yes, I'm leaving this. Let's just turn this up. Wait, that's volume. How do I do that? What is sticky over here? No, stop. Oh, it's a micro dots. All right, a second. This is really good. I understand micro dots. That's hey, where did my Alice in Wonderland girl go? All right, Strains, do you have an eye? You want to tell me which one's which here? I appreciate you saying that. I do not feel like I'm doing great at all. I am very, very lost. Hey, on top, how you doing, buddy? What's up, man? Winks, what's going on? Wait, is this sticky? Yeah. But I don't like it. Yes, and that's why I'm trying to get as much out. I don't know what day that is. I wish I knew what day that was. Because I'm trying to get as much out as I can on this. It's weird, y'all. It's weird. I'm still formulating. What I say yesterday? I was like, I was happy with an idea of a tweet. I didn't tweet out that right that second. Well, of course, Twitter doesn't like me anymore, so they really do. I can show you that too. They started saying, you can't tweet right now. So it's the 23rd. All right, thank you. Oh, hey guys, on the 20th, Kimberly Wright has to have. If you guys remember, like a year or so ago, she had nerve endings in her back. Well, they did a little thing to them. She's going out the 20th. So give her all your love and prayers and everything. Okay. Back, man. Nobody wants a bad back, right? I mean, that's like my brother says, I've been in pain in her back. Wait, hold on, that's her butt. Yeah. Anyway, nobody wants to be a pain. All right, all right, let me pull this one up and you guys tell me this is all right, if this is the right one. All right. Wait, why is this? Oh. You know what's scary? Is this what? This is what I did? Wait, I don't think that's the right one. It wasn't. So you know what's scary, y'all? I looked up and I saw a website all written in Chinese. I'm like, what the heck is happening there? And then I realized, like, oh yeah, I had to look up instructions on something earlier. So anyway, but it scared me for a second. I thought I got taken over. That makes sense. Being taken over. I love you guys. You guys are so much fun. Well, I'll tell you what, we need to have a good time, don't we? I'm ready to just cut loose and get the heck out of here. Feels like it's Friday. Let's see here. Kelly Ray sounds more important. Yeah, K Ray. She's my that's buddy. Thank God I parked. Oh, wait, 21st. This is different. Hopefully the schedule's already have an extra piece of bone removed. I just assumed it was the same one. Hey, did I get points for remembering the first one? That was a long time ago. And you know me, right? You know me. All right. Oops, that's the wrong button. That's the wrong button. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. So look at this. Is this the right one? Does this look good to you guys? Yes. Yes. Canada just bent over. What? Is this the right one? Strains? I think I'm. You know what? I think I get more pixie stick here. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, that was hard. Ugh. Ugh. I threw a little. I didn't think there was that much left, and there's still a little bit more. Mm. Love those things. Like, as in Canada dropped the soap. I'm so confused. I am too. I've not seen this one yet. So I don't know anything about microdots. I think they do incredible work, though. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go. We're gonna start right now.
Charged with her boyfriend's murder is innocent.
Kearney has been writing for months about the case and recording himself.
All right, so it's 30 minutes total. It probably won't be a total thing. Real quick, I want you guys to know. Probably mute this while I do this. Just remember, everybody, that copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. This is everything I do is educational, or it's for criticism, comment, and news reporting and teaching, for crying out loud, of all things. I try to check as many boxes as I can when doing anything, and I would never step on another creator's content. Okay, like that's I feel like we have a bond. If anybody has a problem with it, I'll be happy to talk to them about it. Sweet Fly, good luck, be safe. Get hold of us when you get all settled in. It might have to do with PM Kearney as visit to China. Prime Minister Kearney. Oh, wow. All right, let me turn the volume back on. Sorry. Whoops, that's wrong button.
And then he gets arrested.
Hey, can you guys hear? Whoops, wrong thing.
And what other podcasts are doing are giving a voice to those that need a voice, and that's not a crime.
Giving a voice to those who need a voice. How you doing? I love this. Hi, friends. What's up, Tons?
Someone who is saying there's a police conspiracy, and then he gets arrested. Witness intimidation. It's kind of unusual.
Oh, thank you, Side Eyes. Side Eyes, were you the ones that's going to... Who was that? Maybe it was Strains.
The police covered this up, and then he
I'll look in Discord for a message on it.
Listen to the sound of my big black lips. Listen to the sound of my big black lips.
Yeah, please do. Matter of fact, I need to get the link here. This is...
I will not be silenced, and we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen.
Yeah, please, let's see, where's my link here. Yeah, please go check out Microdots. Sub up if you haven't.
That was so huge, it just got even bigger.
Please give them likes and all that other good stuff. Someone should drop the link to Microdots, please. That doesn't seem to be for it. All right. Supposedly 1987 is the greatest year of all time for music, according to the band Steel Panther. All right, let's see. Come on. Where are we going? We gotta start talking. We gotta start talking. Oh, here we are. Does anybody know Microdots? Does Microdots go hang out with
As soon as he
people?
puts the kids on, we'll jump on him.
Is this the day when? Oh, is this the day when they arrested him when he was at the school bus stop? Right? Is this it?
On October 11th, 2023, Norfolk District Attorney Michael W. Morrissey shocked the region by ordering his harshest critic, outspoken journalist Aidan Kearney, widely known as Turtleboy, to be arrested.
Oh, jeez.
The same mass state troopers he named as corrupt were the arresting officers.
There, indeed, what's going on? He's British and tall. Well, they have those. They have millimeters over there, so there's more of them. But usually they're just of average height. Remember, the hobbits live there.
The yellow target is landing. All units,
Many months at a Halloween party. I mean, he's in a costume. How'd you know? Ted Mosby went as a Henry Chad one year. Halloween party. I'm dancing to the AI music. I know. I'm a hypocrite. So did Turtleboy have any idea that this was happening this day? Did he have any gut feeling or anything? Richie, the creator of Microdots, Drop Microdots, is happy to have anyone share their friends with John O'Keefe and close with Turtleboy.
Can we get crime scene up here, please?
They were friends. Okay. Well, thank you, Strange. Thank you so much. We're going to learn a lot today. I'm so glad you told me this. People keep saying to watch Microdots. I'm like, try to, but he had none. Yes. And thank you, T. Please make sure you're subscribed. Trying to get to 8,000. 98 away, and I'll do an 8-hour stream. You did it.
In a courthouse intentionally pre-packed with Aidan's opposition as to not allow room for his supporters to enter, Special Prosecutor Ken Mello began to outline the charges. As thousands of Turtleboy supporters were watching the courthouse Zoom feed, one member of the public communicated what we were all thinking rather poetically. After dedicating weeks to meticulous research on the arrest and the purported statement of facts levied against Aidan Kearney, by our estimation, it can be unequivocally asserted that the presented information is nothing short of total and utter bullshit.
Ah! Sir, that's a bad word in America.
You'd be forgiven for mistaking this entire charade for a Monty Python sketch.
Tons of
which would be
fun!
comical, if not for a reporter's freedom at stake.
So happy to have you here. I do a live stream on Sundays for members only.
We're asking that.
And there's a link in the members thing for the Discord. If you Discord, some people are very anti-Discord.
Of witnesses or their family members. We're asking that he not on his blogs or otherwise encourage his blog followers to photograph witnesses.
Yeah, I remember it.
Their homes.
I don't like it, but it's, for some reason I
One of
got
the
the music.
tactics we see used over and over again by Ken Mello against Turtleboy is he presents lies as fact. For example, Aidan has never instructed his audience to take photographs of witnesses in public or visit their homes to ask questions. However, even if he did, there is absolutely nothing illegal about taking pictures in public spaces, nor is knocking on doors in a residential neighborhood to ask a question. If it were, the Girl Scouts of America would be featured on America's Most Wanted.
Well,
The
they
notion
should
that
be
Aidan
with
is
those tasty
responsible for a
little
lawful
thin
action
man.
carried out by an entirely unknown individual with no direction from him is laughable and undermines the credibility of this judicial institution. A A Freudian slip is an unintentional error in speech that reveals unconscious thoughts or feelings. And Ken Mello is about to reveal what's been dominating his thoughts as of late.
As Your Honor will hear from the evidence presented by the Commonwealth's argument, the defendant has shown up at sports games.
I'm sorry, Ken, but who has shown up at sports games?
Defendant
has shown up at sports games.
Did you say the Fed? Did you mean the defendant? It is a documented fact that an FBI investigation is currently underway in the Karen Reed case. The specific individuals under scrutiny remain uncertain. Nonetheless, a special prosecutor pressing baseless charges designed to suppress an independent journalist could be a likely target.
Hang on, let me stop this real quick to address tons of fun here because it's for everybody else. Discord in a lot of places is really, really bad. Okay, I try to keep it just like my channels, like PG-16. You might see, an occasional meme with a bikini in it, but there is no nudity and none of that, and it shouldn't be very vulgar at all. If it is, mods should come in and just wipe it out. So because if you don't take care of it, it snowballs into this big huge thing. So those of you that have Discord, it can be a great tool. It's a fabulous communication tool. I love it for that. It is very, in some places it'd be very bad. So, but over here it's pretty safe. As soon as Zach tells me, I'll open up the Gone Fishing. He had a whole fishing channel over there. And hold on. I want to say real quick. We want to say, hey, where'd she go? Where'd she go? There she is. Hey, Kelly, how you doing? Let's get back into this. How do you do it? Where's the button?
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Oops, wrong button. Out of habit. Sorry.
In Ken's defense, I'd likely be having intrusive thoughts about federal officials too.
Attended or that were being engaged in by children of witnesses, and has made scenes there using loudspeakers, etc.
This is a lie. Turtleboy never employed a loudspeaker at any sports games. In fact, even using the plural sports games is a lie in itself. Aidan attended a single lacrosse game with a news cameraman to ask a witness a few questions. Turtleboy's detractors often cite this event as him going too far, and it's anyone's right to hold that opinion. But remember, this is a legal setting, and even if a journalist following a story into the stands of a lacrosse game is something you yourself disagree with, it doesn't make it illegal. In fact, despite what you may have heard about the horror and fear of this interaction, it begins with this.
Hey, Matt, how you doing, pal?
Good.
How are you doing? How you doing? Hey, Jen, how you doing? Fancy seeing you here. How are you? All right. So how?
No, wait a second. I saw this with Emily. Okay, right? Who is that guy that he goes up to? He says, "Hey, Matt, how you doing?" Because that guy, he turns around, he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like, he's all excited. He's like a Labrador. He's excited that somebody recognized him.
How did court go the other day?
Going great. Sorry, do you have a child on the team?
Do you?
Some things to notice. Aidan calmly approaches Matt with a warm greeting and a handshake. Then Matt reciprocates, saying, "Hey, tough guy, how you been?" Aidan says to Jen, "Fancy seeing you here." Jen responds, "I know. Amazing." Aidan then asks, "How did court go the other day?" To which Matt answers, "Great." Jen and Matt are both smiling, and no one involved seems particularly intimidated. Jen and Matt are entertaining questions from Aidan, which is a signal for him to continue. But none of the words exchanged between the McCabe's and Aidan are as important as what remains unsaid. At no point in the interaction do we hear Matt or Jen say anything resembling, "Please leave us alone." Later, we do have unknown third parties asking Aidan and Richie to please leave, but that's not the same as Matt or Jen saying it. Now is an opportune moment to underscore a crucial aspect of Aidan's character. He's well versed in the intricacies of the law and how it applies to his journalism. He certainly doesn't want to get arrested for going too far. What if he was specifically waiting for Jen or Matt to ask him to stop? That would have been a clear signal directly from the interviewee that no answers would be forthcoming. However, after closely reviewing the footage multiple times, that statement is nowhere to be found. Let's continue reviewing the tape together and see if we can pinpoint exactly when this became an illegal activity.
I do, so I'm trying to walk.
No, I'm at a public event, so I can do whatever I want. So anyway, so Jen, I have a question. Did you think that you could outsmart Karen Reed? Did you?
Notice here that Aidan is standing at least 4 feet away from Jen. He's by no means in her face. And instead of saying no comment, or I'm scared, she chuckles through a large grin, which can be interpreted as her responding to his question, meaning she is willingly engaging in conversation.
Do you think that's funny?
What does fusion
Do
of
you think
yin
that's
and
funny?
unpat mean?
How long to die in cold? What is this gentleman doing? Look at that deranged face.
Here, Matt appears to be the first and only person to get physical by pushing Aidan, which you can easily see here delights Jen. If she isn't finding this interaction enjoyable, her expressions and behavior certainly suggest otherwise.
Hey, Jen, are you worried about what's going to happen to your family when you go to jail?
Don't touch me.
Why are you shaking,
Touch
dude?
me again.
Why are you
Touch me
shaking?
again. Touch me again.
So, Jen, are you worried about what's going to happen when your kids go to jail?
Touch me again.
When you go to jail, I apologize, to your children.
Aidan misspeaks, and upon realizing it, issues an apology to the children. And although Matt seems to be the one invading Aidan's personal space, Matt implies something will happen if Aidan touches him again. It's crucial to highlight the significant size differential between Aidan and Matt. Aidan, standing at 5'8.5" with a medium athletic build, is notably smaller in comparison, whereas Matt appears substantially larger, almost like a giant standing beside him.
Are you worried at all about that? Huh? What's going on here?
Oh, you're so fast.
Oh, what are you
I
doing
didn't
here?
know how short you were.
Jen, did you think that you could outsmart Karen Reed, yes or no? Did you? Why did you?
We see here that despite a barrage of insults and taunting from Matt, Aidan continues to seek answers to the questions he has about the Karen Reed case. The McCabe's still showing no signs of fear, and it seems Matt is the only source of intimidation directed towards Aidan. However, most surprisingly, is there still no vocalized request to end the interview from Matt or Jen. If only we had a neutral third party to serve as witnesses who could tell us if, by their perception.
I just want to tell you guys right now, thank you so much for sharing this one. Like, I was looking at the other ones, but like this one, because of watching them, like this is closing up a lot of questions I had. And when I say closing up, let me rephrase that. Microdots is saying a lot of things that I was thinking about, and it's good to hear somebody else say it because it helps me with my thoughts. Like, okay, now that somebody else, we're on the same page. Because I mean, I don't have anybody to talk to about this stuff, right? I'm very thankful. Thank you for sending this to me.
Aidan was out of control. These two Billrickerfield officials, completely unaware of the Karen Reed case and unfamiliar with Turtleboy or the McCabe's, arrived at the scene after being summoned by a Canton parent.
They think Richie is Turtleboy.
Oh boy, here we go.
See, they're blocking it. Like, no, dude, it's me. It's actually me.
I'm about 5'8"3/4. How much do you weigh? You're very thin. Yeah, you look sharp the other day in court. You look great.
They are entirely unaware that Aidan is the individual they've been instructed to remove, instead singling out Richie, who, incidentally, rarely speaks unless spoken to as the apparent source of the disruption. From their actions, it can be deduced that Aidan's behavior gave the impression that he himself was a member of the McCabe party and did not pose a hostile threat. Richie leaves the area once directly asked by the officials and waits for Aidan at field level. Matt seems to be more relaxed now, and Aidan's banter with him could be characterized as light-hearted teasing. Claiming this is harassment or intimidation, as Ken Mello has done in open court in front of a judge, would be factually incorrect and intentionally misleading. These two frames extracted from Aidan's video during the peak of the interaction clearly reveal that none of the other spectators present at the game appeared to take notice of the incident. This dispels any misinformation suggesting that the game was disrupted or that a scene was created.
Thank you, Kisko.
After a few more minutes of speaking with the Billrickerfield officials who had no idea what this was all about, Aidan himself ends the interview and leaves.
Okay, we'll give it a wrap, but I just thought I'd stop by and have a great night. We'll see you soon, Jen. How long to die in cold? Maybe you can answer that question for me. We'll find out later.
Let us remind you that Jen had applied for a restraining order against Aidan just a week prior and was denied. The judge's response.
But I would need to find, by a preponderance of the evidence, a substantial likelihood of the immediate danger of abuse as defined by the law. Because of the free speech issues and his status in the press, I'm just not getting there.
It appears
you
likely
sign
that
up
the
for T-Rex
prosecution
Australia?
chose to silence Aidan by consolidating all his legal activities under the guise of witness intimidation, then amplifying them through out-of-context excerpts and outright falsehoods. However, for any of Aidan's actions to qualify as felony witness intimidation in Massachusetts, 3 factors are required. 1, that the defendant, either directly or indirectly, made a threat or attempted to coerce another person. With the exception of Matt daring Aidan to touch him again, we heard no threats or coercion from either party. 2, the other person was a witness, juror, or law enforcement official at any stage of a criminal investigation, trial, or other criminal proceeding. Since the McCabe's are witnesses in the Karen Reed case, this factor is met. 3, the defendant did so willfully with the specific intent to impede, obstruct, delay, harm, punish, or otherwise interfere with the criminal proceeding.
That's what I was talking about in my video I put out yesterday.
Did you get the impression Aidan intended to intimidate the McCabe's to dissuade them from testifying, or from providing truthful testimony in the upcoming Karen Reed trial? If you answered no, then it's simply not witness intimidation. And let us plant a flag here regarding specific intent. We'll come back to unpack that shortly.
For 1977,
held the employee at gunpoint while demanding.
Hold up to 650 pounds of pizza, with or without pepperoni.
The FBI. I should be authorized to be here.
This is the end.
Is that Shizzy? I love Night of the Living Dead.
It's worth reviewing a few aspects of this unprecedented statement by Norfolk DA Michael Morrissey, which took place on August 25th, 2023. The lacrosse game, rolling rally, and other protests had already taken place by this point. It's filled with provably false statements and bias against Karen Reed as a defendant, including some easily rebutted assertions about the people and events that transpired the night John was murdered. He scolds the general public for drawing definitive conclusions about the case before trial. However, what's most ironic is that the district attorney seems to be completely unaware of the fact that this is exactly what he himself is doing. By making one-sided comments about a case when, as a matter of ethics, he should not. But again, what's most interesting is what he doesn't say. Let's listen carefully to the district attorney's next statement.
To have them accused of murder is outrageous. To have them harassed and intimidated based on false narratives and accusations is wrong.
To have them accused of murder is outrageous, and to have them harassed based on what he perceives as false narratives is wrong. But he doesn't say anything that's happened up until this point has broken the law.
Message you.
If the rolling rally was so clearly a demonstration of widespread felony witness intimidation involving literally hundreds of suspects, does he not have a responsibility to communicate that to the public? We learned from the charging documents against Aidan that cameras were placed in several of the locations where the protest was scheduled to occur. We also know that the
I just want you to know that right here looks like that's Batman, right there in the middle.
PD and the Mass State Police had absolutely no visible presence at any of those locations on that day. Just how concerned with the safety of the witnesses and their neighbors could they have been when they seemed far more interested in using them as bait to gather video evidence against Aidan? Moreover, if merely urging someone to speak truthfully becomes a punishable offense, then the simple act of placing a witness under oath and telling them to tell nothing but the truth must also be equally placed in that category. Any Catholic priests taking confessional, who are caught saying the truth will set you free, are also vulnerable to being charged and may have a brand new scandal to deal with.
They are witnesses doing what our justice system asks of them.
Yes, they are. And all that's been asked of them by Turtleboy or anyone else has been for them to be honest, which doesn't meet the criteria to be classified as witness intimidation, because it doesn't carry with it the malicious specific intent to interfere with legal proceedings. Perhaps the biggest issue looming over the Commonwealth is their complete lack of credibility, which is perfectly demonstrated in the next statement.
In addition to having no opportunity to plant the evidence, as has been suggested, Proctor would have no motive to do so. Trooper Proctor had no close personal relationship with any of the parties involved in the investigation and had no conflict. And he had no reason to step out of this investigation. Every suggestion to the contrary is a lie.
Here the DA is suggesting Trooper Proctor had no motive because he had no close personal relationship with any of the parties. But it's been well established through Turtleboy's reporting that the Alberts are like a second family to the Proctors. Therefore, according to the DA's logic, the motive for a cover-up does in fact exist. At the cost of their own credibility, the Commonwealth simply refuses to acknowledge the close personal relationship between the lead investigator and the family at the center of this case. If he so vehemently denies such an obvious fact, how can we trust any of his accusations against Turtleboy? Morrissey's statement was widely criticized for its possible ethics violations, for he seemed to be trying to convince the public that there is reason to think the defendant is anything but guilty.
Wait a second. Where is this article? That's what I want to see. Has Norfolk County District Attorney Michael Morrissey committed ethical violations, is handling the Kearney case.
For its possible ethics violations, for he seemed to be trying to convince the public that there is no reason to think.
I missed it. Hang on a second. Sorry, guys. You know, I see things differently. I'm sorry. I was trying to get to see what the rule was. The rule of professional conduct makes a very point. Prosecutor has the responsibility of a minister of justice and not simply that of an advocate. What this comment to the ethical rules mean is in part is that a criminal investigation should not become one-sided with blinders on once charges are filed. That's true pretty much everywhere. So would it'd be nice to have a rule book for Massachusetts, because they, especially ethics. I remember Tennessee ethics has opinions to the rules right there, and it's just like how this is, where it says what did it say? What this comment to the ethical rules means, and that's I'm used to that, so I think it's unique that Massachusetts has it. As a little nerd thing, sorry y'all, I just want to catch up on myself. I need this. I know it's not for y'all. Massachusetts Rules of Professional Conduct 3.8 G, which Attorney Morrissey also may have violated and may continue to be violating, states the prosecutor in a criminal case shall not avoid pursuit of evidence because the prosecutor believes it will damage the prosecutor's case or aid the accused. That is so very true. And there are a lot of cases that have been turned over because of that. You have to, they have to hand all their evidence over to the defense too. And that is so hard for so many prosecutors to do. But yeah, if you find something that an exculpatory evidence for the person you're going against, as much as you got to eat crow, put on that bib and get your knife and fork out because it's dinner time. Yeah.
The defendant is anything but guilty. A man who's been serving in official government positions since 1977.
I've never seen this movie.
Should know better than to presume a defendant is guilty before she receives her day in court. So when the top law enforcement official in the county is commenting on the peaceful protests occurring in this case and has the perfect opportunity to make everyone aware that what they're doing is illegal, what words does he choose to end with?
But the message is the same. What is happening to these innocent people, these witnesses, is wrong and it needs to stop.
A reasonable person's takeaway from Michael Morrissey's full statement is this: he doesn't like it or agree with it, which is his opinion. He doesn't want it to continue. But there's no indication that by continuing to exercise one's constitutional right to protest, they are breaking the law.
I'm not going to kick your ass. I don't need to do that. I'm more dangerous with my words because I'm so good at finding evidence and exposing people. And that's not a threat. It's a beautiful day for some peaceful protesting.
We're not against anybody. We're not not violent like that.
We keep things peaceful.
We're here to peacefully protest. I'm a award-winning journalist. I can come to your home and ask you questions. Like, that's what the media does.
Be above them, be better than them. That's not a threat. It's investigative journalism we're doing here, folks. I'm in you guys.
Parking lot. I'm like, look,
Be respectful.
you got
And peaceful,
no
no
matter
matter what they say. Stay respectful.
We are peacefully protesting.
We're going to be protesting peacefully outside of his house.
You got to be the bigger person, always.
We're here to peacefully protest.
No matter what they say, I'm not going to kick your ass. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to do any of that stuff.
So we are peacefully protesting.
Try to stay off people's property.
There'll be no rioting, no looting, nothing like that. Just a peaceful protest.
I'm glad to hear that. Try to stay off people's property. I mean, it gets lost a lot of times. Returned over 3,000 blank
peacefully
pages.
protest. We're going to be respectful. We're not going to trespass. We're not going to step on their property. The harassment of witnesses is baseless. We're not harassing any witnesses.
Are you being serious?
If you want to peacefully protest, you should be peaceful about it. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And that's
There
not
she
correct.
is.
I'm an award-winning journalist. I'm just there to ask some questions. You have a right to do that.
The other
Manny, how
side
you doing, baby?
is going to try to
Cold and
bring
intensity.
people there with the intention of provoking an incident. They want our side to seem unhinged and violent.
This has been declared an unlawful assembly. All persons must immediately leave the area by traveling to the west.
You cannot control yourself. If you cannot control
This
your
the end of
temper, then don't come tomorrow.
Protest.
An option to remain silent.
Okay, now hold on. Wait, this is him. This is right.
Nothing is stopping you.
Hold on a second. Look at this. Look at this. Is this true? I mean, I wasn't involved, right? Like, I didn't know. I knew it was a big thing. I don't know anything about any of this stuff. This is what was going on. This is how much people protested. Holy cow. I don't think of Massachusetts being full of a lot of protesters. It's not a protesty state, right? Nanny, it's your birthday? Well, look at that. Oh, look at you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Dang, Nanny, clamp it. Well, next time you shoot your shotgun, you get some oil. And I had a pixie stick earlier. Wait, what is that? Is it Aquarius season yet? Are you in Aquarius? I don't know what season it is. Is that bad? Anyway, thank you for spending your birthday with us. I'll get back to that. That is amazing to me. Look at that. Look at all the protesters. Wow. You look a lot more bathed than the ones in that.
Telling the police what happened. You can avoid jail in doing that, but you're gonna have to talk. It's not an option to remain silent. You might as well tell the truth.
Is that
Let
true?
The world know
Wow.
what happened. Nothing is stopping you
Capricorn.
from telling the truth, from saving yourself.
Who's a
You
Capricorn?
know
Nanny
what
is?
happened that night. You know
Well, that means
why
Elvis
John's
was too
body
then.
was on that line. You know why he has that huge laceration in the back of his head. You know that he was bleeding out.
Without including the allegation of witness intimidation, none of the claims listed in the charging documents are by themselves unlawful. Now, we will shift our focus to a singular, overarching truth that exonerates Aidan and renders that allegation baseless as well. We will propose that Turtleboy simply never committed witness intimidation.
Okay.
In order to assert that argument, we first need to demonstrate what real witness intimidation entails.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to hear his take on
The
it.
following is a fictional yet plausible scenario that has been crafted specifically for this illustrative purpose. The star witness is the store clerk, who was able to identify the
how you doing?
defendant as a former employee by recognizing a small scar above his left eye. The apprehension of the defendant, who possesses an extensive criminal record, occurred at his home 2 days after the robbery.
So that's what you expect, right? You expect this in witness intimidation. Danny, I'm going to show you a picture here in a second.
The other two men were never caught. The three got back into a stolen vehicle, and a police chase ensued. The assailants escaped by driving directly into the pursuing police car. 5 days after the arrest, the defendant's father shows up at the home of the store clerk. He became aggressive, threatening to assault the witness on the day of the trial if they showed up to testify against his son. Although the spectrum is wide and vague, all credible instances of witness intimidation adhere to the following consistent pattern. A witness is prepared to testify against a defendant, contributing to the pursuit of truth and justice. Subsequently, a third party, often a friend or relative of the defendant, tries to interfere with malicious intent, specifically to obstruct.
And see, this is what I was trying to say, like in my video and stuff yesterday. And it's hard to, because there's so much overwhelming stuff. It's so hard to just narrow it down because I don't know this forward and backwards like so many of you do. But it's like this. I mean, this is one of the things I wrote down. I was like, did any witness change their testimony, or did any witness not go to court? Say that they don't want to be a witness for something like that. Did anybody do that? And now you don't have to. Okay, like that. How the statute's written, like Turtleboy could be guilty of it. Do I think it's a fair statute? Probably not. Still we're looking into all this stuff. And this is part of it. You have to learn the facts, right? And what Microdots here is saying is how I feel. Now, what I'm looking for is I want to see, I want to understand a little bit more on that legal side of things. And I mean, I can't do anything about it. I can't. Again, I don't know Turtleboy, and I don't know Karen. I don't know these people. I don't care. All I care about is that if this happens to him, right? Somebody who is very outspoken, has a following, has a microphone, all that stuff. This can happen to you. That's the sad part. I don't like that. I like to make people aware of how important things are. We're only one generation away from losing everything we have. Do you think that freedom is worth something to preserve for strangers hundreds of years from now? Thank God that there were men and women that did before us. Now, real quick, excuse me, gosh, Pixie Stick's talking to me. Nanny Clampett, that's her 5-year-old grandson, made her a birthday cake. If you know Nanny, she has a huge Halloween ordeal. She's the Halloweener, and her sister is the Christmas treer. So that's cool, Nanny. That's really cool. All right.
Justice.
And that's why, like I said, Discord, because I can hear it beep. It's right here.
However,
it works
in
faster.
Case, you have the 8 witnesses, none of whom even saw Karen commit a crime, who are prepared to testify at the retrial. And then you have Aidan, who Karen Reed was unknown before his reporting on the story, and whose public message in parallel to the trial is for all parties to testify truthfully about what they experienced that night. meaning he has no malicious specific intent to obstruct justice. And that can mean only one thing. Aidan Kearney never committed the crime of witness intimidation. None of the words he's spoken or articles he's written ever carried with them the intent to purposefully subvert the justice system through intimidation or coercion of a witness. The entire case against him appears to be a complete fabrication, orchestrated by prosecutors desperate to silence the journalist exposing their purported misconduct and alleged cover-up of the murder of a Boston police officer.
Better, okay? Yeah, I wondered, was it 6768? Let's have one of those police shields there. Put a coat of paint on it.
Hey, Katie, are you
A little red, a little white, a little blue. Is this the end? Look at me, I'm over here dancing to this music. Oh yeah, it is the end. All right, yeah, there's nothing else. There we go. All right, so that felt good. Thank you. That kind of answered my some of my questions. I like that. I see. So here's the thing. Ultimately, I rely on my own opinion on it, right? But when I'm thinking of an idea and I see someone else talk about stuff that it's the way I feel, like, you know, I'm leaning towards, it makes me, it's like I don't know, it's like putting an extra little weight on the scale. Does that make sense? Like where it's like I'm kind of leaning a little bit more that way. I really like it. I didn't see that. All right, so let's see. There's we have another one here for you guys. Let's see. Where did I do? Oh, how did I lose my stuff? There it is. Okay. Let's see. What is this one? And I just hate how this email account works. Okay, now I do not know what this one is. So you guys tell me about this, all right? Oops. And mind you, like this whole thing is like I had no idea that he got arrested or has problems in New Jersey. And this is how the Turtleboy stuff goes. Like I just need to put up streams and be like, okay, I have a bunch I want to talk about. You guys are probably going to tell me a whole bunch of stuff I need to know. And I love that. Let's see here. That's what they tell the jury to do, weigh all the evidence before they make it correct. Let's see here. Is this one right? Is this a good one here? I do not know anything about this, so let's go.
The Commonwealth, my name is Robert Novak. I'm a Special Assistant Attorney General. I'm filling in for Mr. Mello, who's ill.
All right, Mr. Novak, good afternoon. Welcome.
Hello, Your Honor. Timothy Bradle on behalf of Aidan Kearney. Before me, Judge in custody for the record is my client, Aidan Kearney.
I believe we're here because the bail revocation period is up. We need to address that. Mr. Bradle, there are also 2 new indictments against your client. Do you wish to have him arraigned today?
I do, Your Honor. Thank you for asking.
All right.
I appreciate it.
So let's do that first, Mr. Clerk, and then we'll deal with issues relating to bail thereafter.
Mr. Bradle, does your client waive the right to a formal reading of these indictments?
Yes, we do.
One count of intimidation of a witness, one count of disclosing the contents of a wiretap. Mr.
Yeah,
Chair, how
there
do
you
wish to
go.
plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Thank you. You can have a seat. Question of bail, both cases. Yes, Your Honor. The
Go ahead.
well, $10,000 in cash bail in certain conditions. The first
Okay, so
one
what's happening
being
right
that
now?
The defendant stay away from the alleged
One's been
victim
dismissed.
in the case. Secondly, that he obey all outstanding restraining orders.
What is this
regarding
one,
the
though?
victim.
February
And
of
thirdly,
last year.
requesting that there be a GPS monitoring with just an exclusion
Okay, so don't show this
zone
one.
as to the victim's home,
All right, hang on a second
place
here.
of work.
All right, so Strains sent this to me. So if you're saying that, all right, I won't show it. Is there another one though that we need to go over? Because I've got, what else I have here? I've got, let's see, where did that one go? What about this? Do you know, anybody know anything about it? It is, so supposedly she represents Turtleboy in New Jersey. Is this correct? Am I saying anything right? Is anything I'm saying? Are the words that are coming out of my mouth making any sense? Because I don't think they are. No, I haven't. I have no idea. All right, so this is good. Just skim through this one real quick. I like microdot's videos, but you can tell they're for the truth and pro Turtleboy and Kearney. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna skim through this one real quick then, okay? You guys help me out, okay? You know what? This is like, I feel like I talked the teacher into letting me have a test, but it's like gonna be a team effort. You guys ever do that?
Well, I am back to harass you again, and we have a great show. I know.
Now, who is that Mitchell? M-I-C-H-E-L? Does Michael have an A? Is that right?
I'm going to get Mark Randazza on this because I think there's a freedom of speech issue. Anyway, hey,
how does
folks,
everybody know
welcome to
Randazza?
Justice TV. Michael Bryant here, Linda Kenny Button back in the chair, which we appreciate. And we have Mark Meadow tonight, and we'll get into a little bit about the Walsh thing, a couple of other bits and pieces going on. Stay right where you are.
Justice.
I don't want any of this. What I want to do is go right past
the cluster, trying to figure out who could look at it, who can't stream it. I mean, it's crazy. Anyway, you guys appear, and you're there to talk about, we hope, something of substance in the Aidan Kearney matter with these two pending charges that still are hanging out there for witness intimidation. New judge.
Yeah, that's why I just found out today, sir, that there was a New Jersey thing. I had no idea about that.
History with him or not, but what did you think about Judge BZ?
No history, just, not a Massachusetts lawyer. So, but like anyone else, you put feelers out, you ask the Massachusetts people, what do you know about this?
So I always tell my wife, I'm like, yeah, like, pretty sure I'm not allowed into France. I was like, German. I was like, go over there. I'm afraid the whole country might just surrender to me. I don't want that type of responsibility. I thought it was a funny thing, but I'm like, German.
This guy. And all feedback was good, to be honest with you.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, y'all.
Good. And I think that was
I need to learn
out
some
in the
jokes.
proceeding. I thought he was efficient. I thought he ran a good proceeding. He put the conflicts issues out there front and center, and I had an agenda. I mean, it was clear. I have no complaints, and I think it's just good that we have a judge as opposed to the problem we've had in this case. It's a complex case. There's just so much going on. It just gets shuffled every couple of months, and it's really hard to keep up. And, we have a judge. It's fine. And, we get to go to Boston instead of Dedham. So that's a win too.
I had to tell you, people have been saying that Michael and I, because we were kind of fighting a little bit on the show. We weren't fighting. We never.
We did. We had a healthy disagreement. It's all right.
I was of the view that this was a good move, and of course, I love Boston juries. I mean, I love Suffolk County juries, and I thought that jury, a Boston jury, they get it. They get things really good. And so I was really happy with the way things turned out. My cohort here, who I love and adore as my co-host, even though he is, having feelers out to replace me because I've been gone so long, it wasn't so happy with it.
Yeah, Mark, did you get my note about that? Oh,
no. You didn't like the way it went.
Where do I find that?
No, we were just talking about. We're giving her a hard time because she was busy last week, and so I may have talked to a number of people about filling in. Anyway,
not cookies.
No, I mean, look, there's no complaints. It's fine. He also did what we wanted, which was to bifurcate the conflict issue from all of the other issues, which, at the last discussion about this, which was in front of a different judge, involving a whole number of issues, including Karen Reed's cell phones, that whole fiasco. The answer at that time was just, we're going to do everything on December 5th. And then, in between then and then, what happened? A new judge was assigned. They didn't file their motions on time, so the date had to get changed into a status conference, and we got the bifurcated proceeding out of it. So I think that's actually a good sign that everyone agrees and recognizes that if there's a conflict, we shouldn't be talking about the guy with conflict writing motions to dismiss cases in which he, our view is has no right prosecuting in the first instance. So yeah, no, we're happy.
Even if he does write them in the royal we, in terms of looking at his papers. But with regard to that, I thought it was interesting that he said, well, if you conflict me out, Judge, there's no reason for me to be the other cases. Now, me being Italian and being a little bit suspicious of things, I'm thinking to myself, well, yeah, you don't really want to try anything where, you may be able to try to stack the evidence, or maybe you'll get more money because it would take longer. So I thought that was an interesting comment from Mr. Cosgrove, who, by the way, Michael Bryan has named Cosgrave.
Right.
I love this. I have this thing about, I like attorneys that have been practicing law for a long time. And I like judges, but I love really old. The older the judge, the better. And man, I love the way she answered that. It's like she said 75 words to get to the 4 words that mattered. I absolutely love it.
Learns how to pronounce Kearney's name properly. He doesn't.
I just learned the other day. I thought it was Kearney.
I thought the comment
I'm sorry.
About if you kick me off the one case, I'm going to quit on the other is actually very interesting and something that we will address in our written response, for the simple reason, why so interested in the case with the obvious conflict, but no interest at all in the other one, in which there is no conflict, in the 25 window intimidation case. It has nothing to do with the witness at issue. But then again, why the interest in the other one? And is that professional? Is that personal? Is, again, the appearance of all kinds of things. That was a strange comment, I thought, actually.
There was a moment in the hearing, speaking of Cosgrave, when he started talking about some of the discovery and attributed to you some of the material that he had just received, which hopefully we'll get to.
I just found it.
And I could see there was that moment you're like, you're letting it all play out, but clearly you caught him in this confusion. And it took him a while before he recentered.
He did correct himself. Yeah. He did.
He did finally catch himself. Let me ask you about what you've really gotten and what you haven't. Have you gotten anything since Friday?
No. I mean, the check's in the mail. We accept that representation.
Yes.
The mail hasn't arrived yet, apparently, though. So we don't have anything new since Friday. But the problem that we raise is that the system, as you know, can't function if you can't rely on the good.
I didn't know there was a New Jersey case right before the
fulfill its obligations. And again, the court
thank you, sir. Who is
generally,
Lindsay?
unless there's proof that they haven't complied with, that any representation they make is accurate. And you would hope that's the case. I mean, again, you can't have a civilized criminal justice system if literally you can't trust what the prosecution is saying most of the time. But in this case, we have no clue whether they've complied or will comply with their discovery, because they've said time and time again that they have. Then other stuff shows up. Other stuff shows up on Twitter that we don't have. Other material that is clearly discoverable and in certain cases exculpatory shows up in freedom of information requests that have nothing to do with them fulfilling their discovery obligations in a case like this. And, you know, you saw the other day on Friday,
there ought to be charged.
Something I've never heard in almost 30 years of this. You know, the now recused / dismissed former special prosecutor has a grand jury exhibit from 2023 that he found and is handing to you in December of 2025. And, you know, I only just got this. The state police were not aware of this, and I was not personally aware of this. And of course, as lawyers, we all understand, legally speaking, that means bupkis. I mean, the Commonwealth is the Commonwealth is the Commonwealth. The cops, the DA, the victim witness advocates, the paralegals, they're all the same entity for purposes of possessing evidence, and they're obligated to turn it over. And just the idea that this kind of thing is not being turned over. You know, one of the other things that was referenced, I think you heard the other day, that there's allegations and there's testimony to the effect that there are all kinds of harassing messages that are attributed to a certain person, defendant, who allegedly either harassed or had other people on his behalf or people aligned with him harass their most important witness in Facebook messages, which were allegedly disclosed to the DA. I mean, that's in testimony. The idea that it was actually disclosed. That testimony would have occurred sometime in 2023.
All right, hold on. You guys got me now on this. So Lindsay Stachanini is a she goes catfish hunting. She a noodler? Is she a noodler? You guys noodle? All right, let me look her up. I gotta see this broad. Lindsay, how you say it? It's not Lindsey Graham. I'll never remember how to spell this. Where was it? STAC Cheney. Okay, where is that? STACCHI Cheney. Is that it? Hey, court in New Jersey today. We cannot provide a description of this page right now. All right, let's see here. We have you're telling me, I guess so. So y'all are saying that this chick over here, who was she? Paula Keefe, and that's the brother of one of the people, right? How did she get involved with him? Because here's the thing, I'm thinking like she's like AI or something. Oh my gosh. You have a lot to catch up on. This Turtleboy stuff has been going on for years. Yeah, but see, I'm not trying to catch up on all the drama and stuff. I just want to know the what is happening with the witness intimidation. That's what I got to stay focused on. Just witness intimidation. But then I found out like there's a case in New Jersey. And I'm like, well, what's that about? Like, because, you know, that's the whole problem about being a lawyer. I look at things like that. So anyway, she was catfishing Paula Keefe during the trial. He was sexting her and signaling her while the trial was happening. Was she in the courtroom? What's her relationship to all this stuff? She just like a rando? Those are filters. Well, let's see. Here's another one. I don't know. Oh, there's a bunch of messages there. I don't know. I don't know anything about her. So, where's our thing? This one? Nope. That's one. Yeah, we'll go back to this.
It's now the last month of 2025, and we don't have any of that. If it exists, I mean,
this was last month.
Testimony or not.
Started catfishing, Turtleboy, everything.
In any event,
she got mad and tried to press charges.
A prosecutor would pay more attention to something like that and be concerned about
she's married.
Why wasn't this disclosed? It's obviously discoverable and important, and B, perhaps more.
Y'all, there's a whole nother group of people. There's a whole nother YouTube thing called "What the Hells," and I'm not going to get into it right now. But the people involved in that whole lawsuit and everything else. There are more things that remind me of this. No, I take it back. I take it back because I was thinking about Laura Owens was one. She's not. That's a whole different case. I have 3 cases in my mind right now that are all 3 have a similarity. And the thing about this chick being married to an attorney, there's a chick over there that's married to an attorney, and she says she's an attorney. It's so weird, y'all. It's so weird. It's this. I swear, before this whole thing is over, I'm going to become the Jerry Springer of YouTube. And I don't want to. I want everybody to be happy, have a good time, live life, be good to our fellow man, all that good stuff. But this is so crazy. I mean, it defies the senses. This is
importantly, if it doesn't exist and it wasn't disclosed, and there's testimony from their witness saying I received it and disclosed it.
What's up, Chris?
What does that tell you about that testimony? That's troubling for other reasons, and that would be Giglio material, and which is the same thing as Brady material anyway. So we just want what we're entitled to, and frankly have no confidence that they've turned over.
You understand me, don't you? So you know how my brain works.
Yeah. How could you?
Yeah. Well, going back to Michael's comment here about just the judge, because I do think, you've been very talking good about the judge, and I think he seemed very fair. But I go back to Cosgrove, and when you talk about relying on him, if this man, and I think he pronounces Aidan's name wrong purposely after the judge specifically asked Aidan, how do you pronounce your name, right? And I love judges who do that to both our clients and for us, right? Because how many times
you guys Twitter?
It's a sign of respect. There you go.
Hit me up with messages.
The issue of respect. So then again, in my view, purposely mispronounces Aidan's name as Kearney rather than Kearney, and I think that is a true sign of disrespect, and also how he plans to disrespect him in this proceeding that you have.
I know someone
going on that you can't seem to get your teeth into because you haven't had a judge that would be fair to the defense, and then we're still sitting out there with Cosgrove and Judge Krupp. So talk about that.
Thank you, Strains.
I mean, he's trying to search cell phones that were seized in early 2024, and warrants from January of 2024. Though the probable cause affidavit to seize the warrants but not search them, which is bizarre. That's not how we would do it in New York, for sure.
For sure, Jersey.
They would have gotten the authority to do both. Team issues aside, understanding there could be privileged communications and all that. But in any event, they seized these phones in January of 2024. The probable cause.
He is trying to get you going to Discord, y'all.
By color, and it's primarily based on two.
There's there's a chat room and stuff like that, and it's like this. We have like I said, on Sundays do membership streams, and afterwards usually hang on there or some other times. But anyway, the link should be good. That's up on the YouTube right now on my channel. Just go to members if you have a new membership, you want to check it out. And if not, I'm glad you're a member now. And all the other stuff. Why can't I find what I'm looking for?
Wiggle, 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 yeah. 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 Wiggle. I'm sexy and I know it.
I know how I want to say your name. Is that how you say it? The Farrell one. How are you doing? You guys know Mo in the Deep End? Farrell is the her child. She talks about all the time. So say hi to Farrell. Hey, does your mom know you're on here?
2 major informants. And this is all public record. I mean, actually, this is Cosgrove has filed this and this has been discussed. But one of those 2 major.
Oh my gosh. I think thing's been started tonight. You know, what's that thing? It's like, I just think I have more. Yeah, that's stuck in my head.
Sources of probable cause for Tully is the witness who is suing Cosgrove and Tully. Okay, she is probably anywhere from, off the top of my head, 8 to 10 large paragraphs of, you know, alleged facts which support probable cause to believe that Karen Reed's cell phones would contain evidence of her and Aidan Kearney, you know, committing conspiracy to commit witness intimidation, whatever.
Yeah, that's the
so
thing.
they
No
took possession of those
there.
phones in January of 2024.
Who has witness intimidation?
Inexplicably,
On
never
just a rando
sought a warrant
court
to
case.
search the phones when they seized them. Then, in March of 2024, Mello went before the grand jury and sought to indict Karen and Aidan together for conspiracy without the phones. So they rushed to get the phones, but they apparently were not so important that they needed to get them for the grand jury. So they ran to the grand jury in March of 2024, which everybody knows returned a no bill, which is extraordinarily rare, particularly where a defendant doesn't testify, and particularly where the 2 targets are respectively under indictment for murder and witness intimidation.
Yeah, we have a good time, T-Bone.
So
we have a good time. I hope you come over here.
It begs the question.
I have a lot of different talks.
Run out to get the phones,
squirrels
not even
here,
seize them, and run to the grand jury. And I think this is where the bad faith comes into play.
Tomorrow night,
and,
Friday Night Live,
it'll be interesting to see if Karen's
we just
legal
cut
team,
loose and
this
have
is
some
more
fun.
their battle than ours.
I hope y'all come by tomorrow night by 9:30.
Gets into the bad faith of the request now. It's pretty obvious they ran to the grand jury in March of 2024 because her trial was starting April 1st of 2024, and they didn't want to wait, and it would take time. And they wanted to bang her with an indictment right before her trial. Big
phrasing
news, potentially revoke her bail, but either way, get it out in the press that this was going on. I mean, I think it was clearly a rush to indict to gain a kind of dirty advantage in her murder trial. And so nothing happened. The grand jury declined to indict. She goes to trial twice. Is acquitted,
you got to
in my view,
turn
twice.
notifications.
And then after the trial, the
now
new special prosecutor says, "Well, I think
9
I'll
o'clock
search the
usually when
phones
it ends up,
and
okay?
demonstrate
I try to
the
stream about
existence
every
of a
day.
conspiracy to commit witness intimidation of witnesses who testified twice at trial that the jury rejected twice." You know,
Saturdays
where
and Sundays got
Massachusetts
members
was-
only.
Exactly. I know it wouldn't happen in
considering.
But I'm all around.
In
You
California.
can't have,
it
to me,
never
you
happened.
can't, you can't have any
Gotta
more
hit that
bad faith to me
notification
than you
thing.
have.
We have a
here.
good time over here, y'all. We have a great time.
The woman is
It's a
just
country club.
signed the
It's a country
original
club.
search warrant for the phones, knowing that the trial was coming up. That's what bothers me, because I don't trust the system. Now I know you guys are very good. I know
Callie,
Aidan's representing
did I say
so
right?
incredibly well by you
waiting
and
to
Mr.
board your
Radel,
flight. Where are you
but I
going?
just
Somewhere
don't
cool?
trust anybody up there, but I think they may have a little bit more of a problem. You know, they're going to be in a bigger.
Coming back again.
To me, by being in Boston,
Have a
with the
safe
Boston
trip.
press and the Boston media, now this is going to be, to me, a bigger story. I don't know if you feel
Oh,
that
yes,
way,
I have.
but I think now
Yes,
that you're going to be
yes.
located there, they may even pick up the
See,
story
that's the
even
top of my
more
language.
than they have.
I mean, I do in the sense
I don't
that
know
Boston's
names.
a big city and the media outlets, it's just natural that, I mean, look, generally speaking, cases in Manhattan get more coverage than cases in Brooklyn, and cases in Brooklyn generally get more coverage than cases in Queens, and cases in Queens get more coverage in cases in Staten Island and so on. I mean, when you go to the city, you're going to get more. I mean, we're only going to be there necessarily for one or two appearances, depending on where the judge ultimately ends up. I mean, I have no doubt we're going to end up back in Dedham at some point, but I do think that these oral arguments on kind of the juicy issues that have to be litigated being in Boston, I think that's a good thing.
That's the problem.
I mean, frankly, I just prefer the big city anyway. That's kind of culturally the type of courthouse, the type of environment that I'm more comfortable in than the, like going out deep into the suburbs. Not that Norfolk is that deep into the suburbs, but I mean, I just much prefer the center city and that environment. I think that's better for us.
There's something that something you said there suggests that you're realistically facing what might happen in the recusal and motions to dismiss, no matter how well you've prepared them, documented them.
And this is a good point right here.
The odds of winning, in my opinion, either of them is difficult, and so you're looking down the road. Would you agree with that?
Well, I mean, you always have to. I mean, you can't assume that motions get granted. I mean, it's interesting because, in the Twitter universe, Twitter law school,
how you doing, babe?
Everybody judges every argument, every motion, every statement, every comment as this be all and all huge win or
love the lights.
Loss. And
I'm glad you're here.
What a big deal, one way or the other, it is.
I hope you
and
subscribe
of
and
course,
come
the real
back.
world,
We're having a good
that's
time.
not how lawyers operate.
The chat's trying to teach me about Turtleboy this whole debacle.
Strategy. You realize that there are skirmishes sometimes.
Real quick, guys, I want to tell you. So, I had no idea. Like, I'm friends with Broken Baker, right? Because y'all know him. I think everybody knows him now. And he had a stream on the 20th of December, invited me on, and it was I didn't know Turtleboy was coming on or anything like that. I didn't know who he is. I mean, I know who he is, but I don't have a history with him. And while on stream, he just started talking about the witness intimidation stuff, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "That's weird. That's weird." And my non-YouTube background is in. First, I was in politics, and then I went to law school and sent to law. See, I'm ashamed. It's like I'm ashamed of it. I never wanted to be an attorney, and so I'm not licensed or anything now. I'm here, okay. But anyway, I've been understanding what's going on, and I want to find. I'm sharing with you my own discovery. Does that make sense? And it's been a great time. I've had some great people. You guys are all great. I love you guys, and I hope we have fun going forward. We've got a great group of people here. You guys, the chat is amazing, and we just have fun. And again, Friday Night Live is just a show of it's like going to the bar without doing anything. And that's it. So. Mustard Stain, glad to see you. Hope you're we'll see you again.
There are battles. Sometimes there may even be major wars before you get to the big one. And, some issues are bigger than others, but it's not all eggs in basket. Everything goes down. I mean, there's clearly a long-term strategy. And in the event, you don't win this, what are you going to do? Of course, that's all thought out, planned, and in the process of being planned. Look, for us, the motion to dismiss is fascinating, but it's one that never should even be revisited in any event, because we believe the conflict is, it's off the charts for a number of reasons. And the public confidence in this prosecution, which already is probably pretty low, the idea that it could continue with a prosecutor and lead detective being sued by someone whose name is going to come up, who could be a witness for either side in this matter, when you already have a situation where the DA's office itself had to be recused because of a conflict. The first special prosecutor had to be kicked off because of making himself a witness, having another form of conflict. And now you go to this, you have the state police that are involved. They have an egregious conflict. They should have been recused immediately in this case. These are the very people that are investigating this case who were criticized and called corrupt.
And that's the
in
thing
the
that
Karen
gets me.
Reed case, and that's what led to the investigation, to the witness
If there is
intimidation
no-
case against our client. So, I mean, the conflict.
Maybe I'm not being fair when I say this, but my feelings are that if you have no corruption, you have clean hands of everything, and you have a good case. It's all prima facie out there, and it's and you just, it wouldn't matter who is prosecuting, it wouldn't matter who is on the witness stand or anything else, because you have the evidence there. You don't have to. Again, it speaks for itself. But that's just, I don't know. I've got a weird way of thinking too. So
In this case, couldn't be more obvious. They couldn't be more suffocating.
Squirrel's gone wild.
And there comes a point where it is being raised pre-trial, which is a big distinction from, on appeal, where on appeal, you'd have to demonstrate actual prejudice and does it impact the outcome of the case. But when it's brought to the court's attention pre-trial, and there's an appearance of a conflict that is really not waivable, it could impact the defendant's rights, and there's a clear break in the interests of the government. The
Thank you so much.
Which is to pursue justice, whatever that means, in any given case, and a personal prosecutor who has been embarrassed, is being sued, and has an interest in destroying someone that he called as a prosecution witness just a few months ago.
So, I'm sorry to keep interrupting here, but it's good to go back. I'm the only one that offers this right now, and I didn't realize there is so much stuff that it's been fun. It's been a fun journey. So, no, I did not see the Kearney. Like, I knew about her. I think I reported. I maybe did like a video or something about her when she first got arrested. My friend Tom Gillis, he lives in Massachusetts. He called me like, "Hey, expert, man, you gotta check out Turtleboy. You gotta check him out, man. He's crazy, dude. He's awesome. You love this guy." And he said that's the first time I heard about Turtleboy, and that's at the beginning of all this stuff. And that's when we did we do a live Friday Night Live. I'm in Tennessee, so we meet up at Dollywood. And anyway, Friday night we do a live show, and Baker flew over for the first one and second one. Hopefully he makes it this year. And the Karen Reed 1.0 was starting when he was here. He stayed with me, and he I think Baker had like 2,000 subs maybe. It's funny, that first Dollywood, I was the smallest channel. And I was the biggest channel. I was the biggest channel that first Dollywood. And now everybody's gone to greatness. And but Baker, he was starting the Karen Reed stuff, and that's how I've always kept up with it. And I'm the guy that would go into chats and be like, "Hey, I'm here for the bikini pictures," because it was like the things he told me. It doesn't make sense. I'm sitting here going, "Oh, this isn't going to last long." This is going to be, I don't know. Someone's going to have to recuse themselves, drop the charges, whatever, and then. When I found out there was going to be a second Karen Reed trial, I was like, what? That's weird. And then I figured it's just the fix was in. I'm very surprised that she got found innocent just because of the totality of what little knowledge I know, right? I mean, I'm not an expert in it. Like I brought that back around. I'm not an expert in it. Where's my button?
I'll win another trial and vouch for her credibility. It's absurd. It really is the kind of thing where you ought to just step away and just bring in somebody new, assuming they're willing to do that. But the idea that they're defending this conflict with such fight, given what it is, I mean, you're being sued. The lead detective is being sued. The lead detective is going to testify. The lead detective is going to have his credibility attacked about a number of things, including his conduct with the witness who is suing you. It's going to come out that she is suing the lead detective. You then are going to defend the credibility of the lead detective. Ought the jury not have the right to know that maybe the reason you're doing that is because you're getting sued too, my man?
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, the jury should not hear that because none of this should be before the jury because the conflict is so obvious. But if they don't have, if this is not addressed, this is destined to come out, blow up in the middle of trial, and lead to a mistrial, which will be the fault of the prosecution and ought to be the end of the case. But
it should be. That's what I thought after the first one.
The path this could go down. It just seems that in any sane legal world, the answer is maybe we should find a non-conflicted prosecutor to the extent we can, which is another
to the extent that anyone would take this. I mean, you have to, if you have a good attorney or an ethical prosecutor,
so much,
you and I both know good attorneys and good ethical prosecutors.
Whether there's a conflict or not. If I were the prosecutor, I would say go ahead and take it up to the judge. Let's go up the ladder.
Not the least of which is
someone else in here.
You're charging somebody with witness intimidation.
But again, that's
because you
acquittals
have a good cases in which they were allegedly intimidated. In other words,
you hand it over to anybody.
Essentially, factually. You can agree or disagree with his manner, his method, whether he's obnoxious or not. That's all fair. But he espoused an opinion on guilt or innocence. Jury, they don't do guilt or innocence. I get it. They just do not guilty or guilty. But practically speaking, the jury agreed with him. So you have acquittals. And then what's happened since then?
Wait, are you up there?
There are lawsuits flying back and forth, and all of the witnesses who were allegedly intimidated have now been sued by Karen Reed for being involved in their own conspiracy, allegedly to violate her civil rights. In the case of Tully, he's now been sued twice. He's been sued by the witness in our case, and he's been sued by Karen.
Okay, so Cusco, you're saying something here. That it's when I was in college, I had a political science professor that said the Fourth Amendment, right to property. Anyway, he was like, it's the most important thing in the world is our right to personal property because. And he used the old OJ analogy. He's like, OJ Simpson was able to buy the best attorneys in the country and the best, had the best expert witnesses, all that stuff. And he didn't go to jail. It cost him everything. And that's how Karen is, right? And that's the thing that's so disgusting is that it's the state, the district attorneys, they don't have limits to the amount of resources they can spend to prosecute somebody. And that's why you see on federal cases, because the only thing that keeps a lot of people out of jail federally is the fact that there's so many federal cases. And so by the time it gets to somebody's desk, it is people don't usually successfully defend themselves against a federal case statistically. And it's really sad, but it's like, one, you have the complete, you can't outspend them. And two, it's also that they've really done their work on it beforehand. But it's that, they get to walk away and go on vacations and other stuff. Karen is trying to sell her story, so she does, for lack of a better word, doesn't end up in the poorhouse. And because Ms. Harriet Williams is here and T wants to remind everybody, Harriet is the original wiggle warrior. She loves it. She comes in here and just says, well, I tell you what, I can't get enough.
Trying to say Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?
I wasn't saying that, but I don't know how that got there. All right. So better. I mean, it's funny. You see his mannerisms and stuff like that. He's like tired, right? The stuff that he's saying is just it's verbatim. It's not. These aren't things that are discussed. They're not argued.
They want to do
because everybody accepts it as fact.
Bring it on. Go ahead. Do whatever. But if they do that, that also gives them more of a motive to falsely, or be biased in his trial. They have a financial motive in seeing him convicted. At what point does some prosecutor say, you know what, you guys go march down to civil court and throw darts at each other. I'm not taking taxpayer money. I'm not wasting important resources on this. You go fight it out. Good luck, Godspeed. But this is not the role of a prosecutor. But here we are.
Crazy, Bukaki.
Yeah, here you are. And at some point, I guess the question that Michael Bryant, who's sitting there, is talking about is why doesn't the judge just take home and get rid of all this? That's what he feels, because what you just espoused is so incredible and so ridiculous and so outrageous and so clearly we just want to get you at all cost, Aidan Kearney, especially since you've taken us all down. You've taken the Massachusetts State Police down. You've taken the system down. You've exposed corruption.
Well,
that a judge would say, goodbye, so long, farewells, Commonwealth.
At least on January 23rd, as it relates to the conflict part of this, I intend to get my money's worth in espousing all of this, and we're going to put some of this in writing beforehand.
The 23rd, yeah,
and
that's
raise some other points in response to the papers that we just got, a couple of hours before the court appearance.
That's next Friday.
Opposing the disqualification motion, whatever. That's not something you usually see either. The timing of that.
You guys ever seen the movie The Goonies?
Yeah, no, I will hopefully get our money's worth on putting this all out there on January 23rd, including emphasizing, there is a public interest in having confidence in the system and an appearance of shenanigans being afoot. And this case is the poster child of that, whatever your feelings are about the defendant.
Yeah, I mean, there's nobody that gives anybody the benefit of the doubt, from my perspective. And how can they, after what they've seen over the last 2.5 years? It just continues to become even more absurd. So let me ask you this: what frustrates you more?
Oh boy.
These issues with personnel involved, or just the simple fundamental discovery battles on every single thing?
Discovery, for the simple reason the discovery issue, it is a fundamental rot in the DA's office. That is cultural, that is systemic, it's pervasive, it's a problem. I mean, the personalities, those are just the litigants in this case. But, in the limited time that I've been involved in these Massachusetts cases and watching some of the other ones, from what I've seen in the 3 or 4 cases, there is a systemic problem in the Norfolk DA's office related to having a system of ensuring that discovery is provided, having a care in the world that discovery is provided, and when it's not, having a care about how to remedy that and do it so that a defendant gets a fair trial and that they honor all of their constitutional and statutory obligations. I mean, the stuff that goes on there with the discovery, and you can see that it's cultural, okay? And the reason I say that, and this is no disrespect to Cosgrove, but he was a judge. So he is entrenched in that system. And the response the other day was, we have a grand jury exhibit they say they didn't get, but I didn't know, and the state police didn't know, and Mello just fished it out, and here you go, and in what world is that okay? It's not. All that stuff related to Jennifer McCabe, we've asked for that. It's not okay. Even several weeks ago, when the motions were due and a motion for an extension was sought, and as part of that motion, it was represented that Mello claims he found other relevant materials that are important. We still don't have those. We don't know what the hell they're talking about. We don't know why things don't get disclosed. And the general attitude appears to be, what's for lunch, right? I mean, now, to this judge's credit, when we raised some of this and said, I don't understand for the life of me, if the answer is, well, Mello's finding drips and drabs, go to his house and office and collect what are we doing? It's your obligation. Yeah. And, the judge said, I'm not going to force them to do that, which I understand. He's not literally in the role of telling them how to do their business, but he did say, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, there are grounds for sanctions, which is the first time that has at least been mentioned in any serious way, that, yeah, if you have evidence that you're not disclosing, turn it over. This idea that they couldn't get an affidavit from Mello. I mean, think about it. We accused him of.
So there's a couple of things. One, when he said that it was, it's systematic, how the bad this is in that office. I can't believe there's 770,000 people live in Norfolk County, and that this place is able to get away like it's a backwoods good old boy network, and then I like how Bedro there is like, finally we got a judge that said at least, mentioned that there'll be sanctions against you. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a big time thing. You're thing like this. If a district attorney has evidence and is not handing it over to you, the district attorney is committing a crime. Now you have a criminal going after a criminal. I mean, it's like watching Escape from New York. Now, real quick, if those of you that know Valhalla Waits, you understand. Those of you that don't know, he's a buddy of ours. He's a real life friend too. He's a great guy. He did 2 tours in Iraq, and he's a big old teddy bear. And I gave him one of those little got Jesus, little, like, they seem like they'd be in a racer, but they're not, if you've seen them around. Anyway, on a Friday Night Live, he just playing with it, and he ripped Jesus' hand off. And so it was very it was sad, because you're seeing it in real life, and we were getting him a hard time about it. Well, he supposedly then he's like, I can fix it. I've got glue. And then he glued it upside down. Supposedly. So anyway, that's what I was saying earlier. I said, have you guys seen the movie Goonies? This is what I think of every time when I him and his handless hold on, wrong thing. I hit the wrong button first. His handless Jesus. So this is what I think of when Valhalla.
That's right, Brandon. Won't happen.
Oh, it's not that. All right. Anyway, I just found a quick one on that. He glues it on upside down. That's what I think of. Yes,
bad misconduct, pervasive misconduct.
I'm not.
The ordinary course in responding to those kinds of motions,
just like my mama said, she's been a member, and even 2 years.
The person you're accusing of misconduct. And if their position is, I did not engage
in
hang
misconduct. Pedro's gonna hate me. I keep interrupting him, but you know what? There's more important things. Jude Curio has been a member for 2 years.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
Jude. Happy birthday. Is your name the same as the Beatles song? Hey, Jude. It is. I just don't realize that. Not a Beatles fan. Sorry. That should be like, yeah, so it's named after. You guys want to see me derail this any other way? Not my mom's favorite piece. Oh, it's so great when Malf is going through the house and he's speaking in Spanish to the ladies there to help them clean, to get the house. The house has to be clean before it gets torn down. And the mom's like, now tell her don't go in the attic. That's got all Mr. Goonies stuff. And Mal says, never go. Mr. Walsh says, never go. He's saying it in Spanish. This is my Spanish interpretation. Never go up into Mr. Walsh's attic. It is full of his drugs and sexual torture devices. Sexual torture devices, but I've always said, yeah, the attic's where you keep the sexual torture devices. If I fall asleep, it's only because I've been up since 5 this morning. I took a nap this afternoon, not on purpose. It was Spontaneous.
To deny it and explain why the lawyer, us in this instance, are crazy for saying we did, and here we can prove or at least create an issue of fact to be resolved at a hearing. And the answer here was, I can't format a Word document.
No.
So I'll just, you tell me what you said.
Sarah, no way.
They avoid a sworn statement that way. That's absurd.
Imagine a federal court counting that in a federal crime. Never would happen. New Jersey, never would happen.
So the answer to the question, I guess 10 minutes later, is the discovery stuff is more bothersome because it's more part of their systemic rot than just the personalities and the oddities of this particular case. You saw it in Karen's case with the Sally Port video and God knows what else. You saw it in the Miles King, where apparently search warrants in a murder case take years to disclose, and 2 out of 6 pages at a time. Crazy. You've seen probably other cases. I mean, it's just clearly they don't have a mechanism in place in that office to make sure that these things are being done. And
they're supposed
these are
to.
on their cases that are high profile.
They're supposed to have a mechanism in place.
These are generally defendants that have very, well-paid, well-established, highly credentialed, skilled lawyers. Obviously, that's the case in Aidan's case. No one's going to dispute that. Thank you. But all, Karen's case, obviously, in the King case, Rosemary Scapiccio obviously is, an A+ top shelf lawyer. I'd be worried about what's happening in the lower cases where the so-called schlubs are defendants who can't afford those kind of lawyers, who don't have the bright lights of the coverage of people like you or all the other, people who
they're
cover
doing pushes
these kinds
against
of things,
Turtleboy.
just
Imagine what they're doing, what they would do
the
to
hell's
you.
going on in the darkness? I mean, these cases are in the light. So to me, it's the discovery issues with the office as a whole.
Yeah, they're getting steamrolled. That's what's happened to those folks, and they're getting crushed by the system. And so it gets me to
that they were trying to get me not to testify. They could be liable under that statute. They could have legal analysts. I mean, you could have death, taxes, and impoundment. That's how it works there. Not this. This was a nice, loud, public, attack on Gaetani about her personal life for everyone to see. Now, some of those things have been said by others previously, but it's not the kind of thing you usually see a prosecutor do. And you wonder again, is that personal animus? Is that the line being blurred? Is that prosecutor, or is that I'm pissed off because she sued me when I don't think she has a basis to do that? Either way, it looks bad. It creates this appearance of an obvious conflict, we believe.
And then all this, to remind everybody, is obviously you want to win the battle, you want to get the case dismissed, you want the not guilties.
All right, here we go.
This is also in light of the fact that you have a statute that's out of control under the First Amendment in Massachusetts, that if your feelings are hurt, basically the common parlance, that could be witness intimidation, which is not only outrageous, I think it's totally unconstitutional. I think it's unconstitutional. I think the Massachusetts Supreme Court would find it's unconstitutional.
I mean, if you read the statute literally, you could have these journalists from all kinds of TV shows who run around confronting people outside the courthouse, knocking on doors, saying things that hurt people's feelings. You could make an argument, well, that hurt me and I don't want to go back to court. I'm scared. So I think that they were trying to get me not to testify. They could be liable under that statute. They could have legal analysts. I mean, you could have people like us talking online saying, I saw that witness testify today, and God, that witness, in my view, was lying, was not credible, is really potentially going to expose herself to this or that. She says, well, that's embarrassing and that hurt my feelings, and now I'm scared to go back. Am I now guilty of witness intimidation because I said that on television? I mean, you could make that argument as absurd as it is. So yeah,
everybody at Fox News would be indicted for having a microphone under somebody to try to get a comment. Everybody at CBS would be indicted for. I'm not picking sides. Have a microphone under somebody to make a comment, as you saw 60 Minutes for many years. It's out. I think it's outrageous. I mean, I think it was on that basis is outrageous. You know, and no one wants to seem to jump in, except you did have the Attorney General who would take these cases, right?
Yeah, the Attorney General was asked on multiple occasions by the DA's office, and they completely declined, much to the chagrin and disdain of the DA, which again, we only learned in emails that were in a FOIL request, you know, not necessarily disclosed to us, but they were publicly put in a FOIA request or response to a FOIA request.
Yeah. It's going to take somebody convicted under the statute to appeal it and take it up and let some reasonable minds, you know, take a look at it. For me, and I'm embarrassed to say this, when I'm out in the field and I'm in a courtroom, like I was down at Adelson, I'm talking to just generally witnesses who are queued up to go in to testify. Hey, who are you? What do you? I haven't done that when I've been up there in Dedham for the false case recovery, because in the back of my mind, somebody could say I'm trying to intimidate a witness.
We have cataloged probably 24 at least examples of people who were screaming at Karen Reed, her lawyers, during the first trial, the second trial, making all kinds of nasty comments, calling her a murderer or various things, or just saying nasty things or accusing her of salacious things with other people, and accusing the lawyers of salacious. And the lawyers are covered by the witness intimidation statute, by the way, in Massachusetts. All these salacious details. Those are all examples of witness intimidation. I mean, you know, if you're going to do this, let's do this, or not.
So when somebody is accusing somebody of witness intimidation under a Massachusetts statute, it's because the way the statute is written, and it may be all encompassing here.
Yeah.
So, and that's what Aidan's being prosecuted.
Yeah, and they talk about potential witnesses, right? I mean, that's how they define it. Well, you know, in Karen's case, Karen was a potential witness. I mean, you know, she very well could have testified. She certainly had a right to. She doesn't have to. So just because she was the accused does not make her that she can't be a potential witness. And they're screaming all kinds of terrible things at her. There were online threats that were directed to her at some point.
Okay. So they said what I wanted to hear about this. Another little nugget that I wanted to hear about this. So here's talk about, they brought up the witness intimidation, and then said how it is, you know, free speech. Like the First Amendment, it should restrict Massachusetts obtuse language in their witness intimidation statute. So I was like, let me ask Grok another question, right? Let's see. It's not because I think Grok's right. I don't know if anything was right. I've catch it not most of the stuff, but I catch it wrong a lot, enough for me to know that I wouldn't trust it. But I do like the conversation it brings up. Oh, that's the wrong one. And this is one of the things I was worried about. Grok talks about, let's see here. I share this with you. Can you guys see this a little bit? Maybe make that a little bit bigger. There you go. See here. So the conduct must be done with intent or with reckless disregard. See, that's not it. Okay, here's the one that gets me. So notably, the statute, and this is about witness intimidation, does not excuse me. The statute does not require that the intimidation succeed. Merely attempting it suffices. For example, if a defendant threatens a witness who has already testified, it could still qualify as retaliation under the 2018 amendments. So, okay, I don't know. I haven't found that part yet for myself. I haven't found that in a book. You know, I haven't found it in a trusted legal source. There's nothing I can cite there. Grok.com is not a legal site. Okay. But I did find out earlier in this article, it talks about, like, so Massachusetts had they had a revision of their witness intimidation laws in 2018. So that's why it says the 2018 amendment. I'm willing to bet that nothing in that has ever been challenged in court yet, and that we're going into virgin territory. I don't know that for a fact. So don't hold me to it. But I'm wondering if this is the first time anyone's challenged the witness intimidation claims. And because I don't think the court would uphold this language. I'd hope they wouldn't. This is why I like attorneys as legislators, because they're writing the law. It helps if they know the law. Let's see if there's anything else here. Enhanced penalties for serious cases. Standard punishment, imprisonment in state prison for up to 10 years, or in-house or correctional. That's the punishment stuff. Elements required for conviction. So if this is true, I don't know if this is true or not, but this is just a search here. This is what would happen on the 23rd, right? To secure conviction, prosecutors must prove beyond a reasonable doubt, as outlined in the model jury instructions, the defendant willfully engaged in one of the prohibited acts, threatening, misleading, harassing, stuff like that. The target was a protected person, a witness, a jury, or a family member. And 3, the act was done with specific intent to interfere with or to retaliate regarding a proceeding, or with reckless disregard for such effects. Let's see here. Willfully implies deliberate action, but reckless disregard lowers the bar slightly, allowing convictions that were defendant ignored obvious risk. So even if that were the exact language of the Massachusetts law, you can see where there's wiggle room, right? There's a little, it kind of goes both ways a little bit. But that's the Massachusetts law. I don't think the Massachusetts law is correct. I think that it may be a very unconstitutional law. And that's that has my interest in it. I think that the free speech, even though it applies to press as well, free speech is more like, us, right? Well, I mean, I don't know. They're trying to decide whether or not Aidan's a journalist. I didn't know that there was a litmus test to becoming a journalist, right? That's something else. A sweet thing. I haven't been able to see anything that tiny since anyway. So we'll see what's happening here. Will end up happening. So like I said, I didn't know about New Jersey. I didn't know about the girl over there. What type of nefarious people? What are they drinking in the water up there? They're saying, oh, hey, I know what I'm going to do. My husband's a lawyer. I'm going to start seeing all these, hot snapshots of me and try to. I don't know, man. It's silly. It's stupid. I don't know. All I know is that it doesn't feel right. Right. And the people that are the thing that gets me is there's so many people that are just adamant that Turtleboy's got to go to jail. It's all stuff. There's a lot of people that don't go to jail. There's a lot of people that are let out of jail. A lot of people they do awful things to children, and they're sexual deviants, and they kill, for weird, sick reasons. And they're not facing the type of penalties that Turtleboy is facing. And I know at this point, this is the part that's really, messed up with it. is that it's just, it doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right that that's where, justice must be served with a, I mean, witness intimidation is a very, very serious crime. I'm not making light of that at all. But if it was so serious, I think he should have been, if you're so worried about witness intimidation happening during a trial, I think then he should have, why didn't they just keep him in jail the entire time? Right? Or why didn't they rush that through? Why didn't they call for a mistrial again? I mean, of course, you don't want one, but still, it's just such a, I don't know. It's a weird, wild world we live in. So, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night around 9:30, you come back here. We'll have Friday Night Live. Okay, we're gonna have a good time. Yeah, there you go. He's being a journalist. That's true. Think about it. He's doing his job, but those they're supposed to be protecting and serving. They're not doing their job, right? You should always. We should never feel threatened to question authority. Isn't that the whole? I one time watched this history program. There was a time called the 1960s. You guys ever heard about it? There's like a lot of protests and stuff going on. Like a lot of music about signs and fighting authority and all that stuff. Now, I don't know. We just need to start being good to each other. That's what we need to be. So anyway, let's see here. Let me see if there's anybody cool out there. Of course, nobody's cool as me. I know that. I'm kidding. Oh man, I'm a jabroni. I don't know what I'm even doing here. I need help on the mental aspects very badly. Don't move my shoes where you're so the rights to go to die. Live free or civil rights go to die. That's so sad. Massachusetts is the cradle of liberty. I mean, the country. It was the heartbeat of the revolution was in Massachusetts. I mean, look. That's where Plymouth Rock is, right? The Pilgrims landed. You imagine getting off a ship, a wooden ship like that, bad stunk, how cold it was all the time, and you land, and you get off the boat, and you're like, it's quiet. What are those noises that we hear? And you hear the woods, you hear the creatures and stuff. One night they saw William Bradford was the first governor of the I want to say Plymouth Rock. It's not that. What's it? Why can't I think of where the Pilgrims landed? Anyway, sorry. He was the first governor, and anyway, his journals talked about running into the Indians. Right, it was the first time they had ever seen anything like that. They thought that they had found the missing link. That was a very popular, almost settled science, I guess, in 1600s. That's terrifying. There's no electricity. There's no flashlights. The guns they had, if they worked, you had to depend on your powder being dry. Let's see, what's this one? Chris Albert has directly turned temper. So is Matt McCabe's brother. So other people that claim to be intimidated. McCabe threatened to hunt Turtleboy down and take him out and torture him. But Turtleboy wasn't a witness, so I guess that doesn't matter, right? if anybody ever threatens you, I hope you go to authorities. You guys, right? I mean, that's what you do. That's what we do as a civilized country. That's why we pay law enforcement, because they do the jobs that we don't have to. Guys, it's a wonderful thing. I'm very what did I say, Plymouth Rock? That's where they landed, wasn't it? Oh, I got it wrong. My brain sometimes, so after like a couple hours, I'm like, whoa, man, where did it all go? But I mean, law enforcement it's amazing. Same thing with all of the first responders. You know, it's an amazing thing that they do this. If you guys have never done a police ride along, I encourage it. Well, maybe not if you're in Massachusetts. Maybe you don't want to do a police ride along, but everybody else out there, you see parts of your own city that you didn't know existed, or you see parts of your own city like, oh yeah, this is where I go. You know, I go to the gym over here, or I go over right around here. This bakery's got great cupcakes, you know, something like that. And then at nighttime, you know, it's like, oh yeah, that's also where all the weirdos come out and do weird things. Oh, was it really? So when people that disagree with authority get prosecuted. I think it's worse. I think it's who it's people that disagree with people on an individual basis. You know, I think it's like if I didn't mow my yard and my neighbor got mad, I feel like it's that he would. You know, he's a police officer and comes in and arrests me because of my yard's not mowed. I violated some health and welfare statute. Yeah, it's just I was in the front seat, okay? Hey, Gions, how you doing? Congratulations. Yeah, it's I was in the front seat, all right? Don't look like I've been back. Well, don't answer that. Been in a lot of back seats. Anyway, oh yeah, hang on a second. I was gonna see if what's happening next. All right, let's do this real quick. Let me harass you guys. Let's see what's how do I hit this? I hit edit. I think it's edit. Let's go over here to that. And we go to this. And let's see here. Who we got? Oh, there you go. I'm gonna send you over to the Pie Club. All right. You guys good with that? You go in there. I was gonna have you guys tell Broken Baker. I was gonna have you tell him something good. Baker, so you guys want to know stories about him? Where'd he go? Did he take it? I feel like he took it.
No.
Broken Baker is he's one of the hardest working people I've ever met. He also he's so funny. Hey, where'd you go? Hey, White Picket Fence, how you doing? Yeah, Broken Baker, he guys, it's so true. I'm probably his best friend because I'm so mean to him. Oh my gosh. He yeah, FNL. Thank you, Harriet. We'll try to get Baker over on FNL tomorrow night. And he's a hoot over there, y'all. He's just an absolute hoot. Because it's funny, you see him and people just they give him a hard time. We all know him so well. So he's a witness, but because he has wrong opinion. Oh yeah. No, you're right. You guys gotta remember, justice is supposed to be blind. Right? Doesn't matter your opinions, doesn't matter. Laws are supposed to be just. they're not supposed to be one-sided. They're not supposed to punish a certain group or a certain ideology or anything like that. And we're also supposed to prosecute them in that same way, defend them in that same way. The courtroom is like going to a confession. It's you are there to defend yourself where nobody else will. Everybody, your word is what is still taken there. Nobody takes anybody's word for anything anymore. It's not right. We need to get a little bit back to our traditions. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. So slow down a little bit, But oh my gosh, Yamaha biker! I thought you were MIA. How are you doing? How's Okinawa? You guys know Yamaha biker is he was a Marine Recon in what's that one called? I almost said Desert Storm, but that's the wrong war. The one after that. Iraq, Afghanistan, something like that. I think it was Afghanistan is where he was, because that's the problem with Yamaha. You guys ever hear his voice? It's very dry, very raspy. It's because Marines are a subdivision of the Navy, and Navy has ships. They like to be in boats. Afghanistan doesn't have any water. They don't touch any water. It's like, what are you doing in Afghanistan, biker? And he's like, I was looking for a part for my Yamaha. And so next thing you know, he's over there. Desert Shield. See, I was going to say Desert Shield, but I thought that was after it was over or something. I don't know. Listen, last night, Binge's Cookies. That's me. I got into Vietnam War. I was just watching it. I didn't realize how much Eisenhower, way back to Eisenhower, the 50s. Anyway, yeah. I can tell you more about the Tet Offensive than I could about Desert Shield right now. Isn't that sad? Oh my gosh. I'm alone, but I love you, brother. You know that, man. You know that. Yamaha's been one of my been my bud for a while. So no, not really. I'm leaving. I'm gonna send you over there to that crazy Frenchman. Tell Baker, Baguette Daddy, put cheese. Start putting cheese in the chat. Put orange hearts for me. Yeah, he'll know then. And put like type cheese in. And he's so weird. He hates cheese. How can you hate cheese? Yeah. Oh my gosh. He is such a hoot. There are so many times I gave him such a hard time about everything. It's not on purpose though. When I first met him, Valhalla told me he was from the Netherlands. And I thought that for the first 3 months. And so it was he shows up for Dollywood FNL, right? And I'm like, this guy, he thinks I'm just like giving him, he thinks I'm an idiot. Well, I know he does. He's not that far from the truth. And he shows up, I've got a Denmark flag flying out front. He's like, oh, that's a Denmark flag. I'm like, oh, it is? I thought it was Swedish. Oh my gosh. Yes, I am alone. I'm alone. So anyway, no, yeah, Baker he's a genuine guy. He's very cool, very focused. I don't like that he's the people who are going after him are extremely jealous. I think he's somebody who can talk about anything and do it in different languages. That's the thing that amazes me. They can't. Some of those people have a hard time speaking English. So and the true threats of fighting words. Turtleboy has never threatened physical harm in any way ever. No, and strange. Here's the thing. Turtleboy. Well, I don't know why this made me think about this. So you're traditional journalist, right? Like you think like New York Times, we'll say, or was it the Boston Herald, ABC. they have the lawyers come in and they tell everybody, about New York versus Sullivan, and you have to take journalism ethics in college, and you learn about the different things and stuff. So if Turtleboy was doing that for a network, okay, he would have an editor, somebody, producer would come in and say, "Hey, I think you're being aggressive," because that person knows they don't want the liability of it. Turtleboy, he's part of this revolution where there's so many people, I'm included, that we have a microphone and we have a camera, and also we have an audience, and we can say things, share opinions that are not popular, and true, they skirt the lines of traditional journalism. But what is journalism in itself? What was when the First Amendment was written? Okay, computers didn't exist, the radio didn't exist, the printing press as we know it didn't exist. Internet wasn't here, but that doesn't mean that those things aren't protected. That's the beautiful thing about our system of government. And Turtleboy, unfortunately I guess maybe unfortunately for him, but unfortunately for the players in Massachusetts, for lack of a better term, they would be boomers. Okay. And they just don't understand what's going on. And he pushed buttons that they didn't even know that were out there. They're probably their type of investigations using a Solo cup from a neighbor. I'm sure there's no, it's sure came from a purified environment, right? Like there's no weird things floating through the air or anything like that, that could taint the evidence. Oh my gosh. Miami Spice being nice. What'd you do, Miami? Yeah, Yamaha biker is true. He truly is he is a Marine. He's an amazing person. But you want to hang out with him? Well, man, come hang out, man. I want to know your story. No, I won't do it. He's amazing with well, hold on. Before I read T-Rex, there's no ethics in journalism except expert. What are you talking about? Any more expert? What are you talking about? Man, see. Did you guys know that Yamaha Biker is a professional leather? What do you call it? A leather, not maker. That would be a cow. You're not a cow. What are you? He makes leather goods. He like a leather strap and like saddles and whips and all that stuff. Yeah, Yamaha Biker. He's a artisan or a craftsman. It's amazing the stuff he does. And he also does he makes his own arrows. He does like a primitive type of arrow. He gets stone and chips it. He does it to relax and to have. It's his meditation. He likes to make quality whips and straps and stuff like that, belts, all that. T-Rex says, here's an interesting fact. When the printing press was invented, it wasn't the Bible or any specific book that was most popular. It was books on how to identify witches. And that's very appropriate. Salem, Massachusetts. I believe it is Tamara. Yeah, you do. You told me you can make an Indiana Jones whip. Salem, Massachusetts. Yes, that's right. Hey, listen, you know what? Yamaha is very humble. He hates when I tell stuff about him. And so I like to brag about him. I'm sorry. I like being surrounded by talented people, and I'm very humbled by Yamaha. I'm humbled by your presence. I've always told you that, but you don't believe me. It's the honest God truth. T-Rex, yes, you're right. You got to watch out for the witches. You got witches up there in Massachusetts. I hope there's no... My wife's related to the Bell Witch. That scares me. I need to stop talking about that.
Wiggle, 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 yeah. 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 Wiggle, 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 yeah.
She did this over a 10-piece chicken wing.
And a broomstick. All right, y'all, I'm going to bid you adieu. Have a good night. Thank you all so much. I'm going to send you to the Broken Baker. He is going to give you lullabies and all these weird things he's talking about now. He has to look them up. Those are all American things. He doesn't know them. I'm kidding. I wish I could think of something funny to tell y'all to tell you. All the stuff I have is too bad. I'd have to say it to you. Oh my gosh, he's a bro. All right. And I don't know if MG Law is my other buddy. I don't know if he's on tonight or not. I just saw Baker's on and figured we'll just keep the conversation going. I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for so much for the education. And guys, continue to let me know. Reach out to me. Okay.
We don't negotiate with terrorists.
That's for you, T-Rex. Reach out to me if you have any information. I need to learn because I'm not very bright. Love you guys. Good night. Dream about me.
I woke up to go get me a cold pop. And then I thought somebody was barbecuing. I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Then I ran out. I didn't grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran for my life. And then the smoke got her. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Well, I woke up to go get me a cold pop. Then I thought somebody was barbecuing. I said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Then I ran out. I didn't grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran for my life. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. I said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. I said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. I said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Jesus, 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 it's a fire. Oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. I said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. I said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Jesus, 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 Jesus. Ain't nobody got time for that.